Hey guys, this is Red Silvers, and welcome back to Let's Play the Guardian Legend. And this is probably going to be the penultimate episode of the main game here, because we're going to be heading into Corridor 10, which is the final main corridor of the game. So, just to recap on the story, just in case you need a reminder, because it's been a while, the 10 main corridors are blocking the self-destruct mechanism to destroy Naju, which is the artificial planetoid that we're in that is hurling towards Earth. Haha, the red grumpy face is stuck behind the wall and can't get me. That's funny. So that's what corridors 1 through 10 are for. Come on, give me something good. Or not, as the case may be. There's a full heal item here that we don't actually need. So I've been using grenades against those pineapples, but as you can see, our regular gun is quick enough to take them out really fast now. It's kind of a case of where they, instead of seeing them up the power, they just threw those old enemies at us. Question mark. And even these blue grumpy faces that are regular enemies are not too hard to deal with. Although it's usually not worth the effort. Especially when you get stuck with them with these meteorites on the screen. It's something you can do, but it's just not necessarily a good idea. And speaking of meteorites and blue grumpy faces, we'll skip that room and come straight to a mini-boss fight. The final mini-boss of the game. And as a surprise, it's actually the glider boss that we fought as a corridor boss before. Which is kind of an odd way of doing things. But he's actually easier now than he was as a corridor boss, because before we only had one direction to fire. Here we've got movement in 8 directions. So he's a lot easier than he was as a corridor boss, and he was pretty one-note as a corridor boss, too. And for defeating him, we get more enemy erasers that we don't actually need. We are pretty capped out. Now for this, we're in pretty good shape here. I want to just run through this next screen because there's another red grumpy face, and we don't want to deal with that. To unlock the corridor, we're just going to use the fire button. It doesn't matter where you fire or how. Just hold it down for long enough, and the corridor will unlock. And so with that, it's Corridor 10 time. And the game is not going to take us easy on us anymore. This is a very good stage to have enemy erasers in. And clear out the, as I've heard it called, the Toho stuff. Luckily, the game gives you lots of opportunities. Our fireball weapon is really going to be good against these enemies that we've had troubles with, like the ice cubes, the bouncing guys, the little TIE fighter enemies. Fireball is really the MVP of this corridor, and Toho stuff, let's clear it out a little bit. You know, you don't want to just sit and ride the enemy erasers, but you definitely want to get through this crazy section. You got those seed pods again, you get lots of these meteorites, and then the stage slows down. It's going to get a little bit more manageable now. So we can go ahead and switch back to our fireball and use fireballs in their weak point for massive damage. But yeah, you get past that really speedy section, and like a lot of corridors, then things get a little bit more under control. They give you a chance to get a breather. And then they're going to start throwing in these TIE fighter enemies again. And all the skulls. We'll get a full heal, we'll get our chips filled out. We're in pretty good shape. Not that it matters for this boss. But who will it be? It is another Igor. A red Igor. But even though he's a little bit stronger, same strategy is going to work for him. Put on our laser and just sit, hold the 2 buttons, and shine on like a diamond. Now, I don't know if you didn't get all the defense upgrades if you could actually do this, but it works pretty well with us, with our position. And we've even got more offensive power now with our regular gun than we did last time, so he may actually go down easier than the last one. And you know what? That's okay. It's okay to have a boss that you can cheese like that. So with that, we've unlocked all of the self-destruct mechanisms. We're going to blow up Corridor 10, and our reward is more enemy erasers to replace the ones that we used. At this point, we're not really even conserving them anymore. They got us to where we needed to have them. So, what do we do now? Well, if you look at your map, there's one more corridor on the map that was not there before. So, we're going to have to head there. But first, instead of walking back through this whole corridor, I'm actually just going to suicide here. Because when you do that, you'll go back to the last save room that you were at. Which is the one that we started this episode out at. It still saves that we defeated that corridor, so we are good. I don't want to quite call it an episode yet, though. I want to do one last thing. And that way I can start the next episode where I want to. We'll go ahead and head out of this area the rest of the way. I don't have a sub-weapon on. So we'll get some chips and top our way off as we head out of the area entirely. Mainly because there's one last thing that I forgot to show off. Here we are back at Corridor 20. And over to the right here is a shop. Now, the trick here is that the weapons that we have are all maxed out, and there's a full heal that we would never use. However, I heard a rumor that if you buy an item that's maxed out, it gives you chips instead. I don't know if this is going to work, but let's see. We've got our fireball, so let's just go ahead and grab that. And it actually gave us about 300 chips for that. So I don't know why it's programmed that way. That's maybe just an odd oversight. Run past the red grumpy face in this room. And here we are back at the entrance of the corridor. So I don't know why the game is programmed that way, that if you have the weapon it just gives you more chips. But that's good to know. So we'll go ahead and get our password. Next time is going to be it, guys. The final episode of the series. Or at least the final episode of the main game. There may be some bonus. There is at least one bonus video I'd like to do, and possibly a couple. But for now, weapon on no use. Let's do the right button this time. Get our crazy, crazy password. And that's going to be it for today. So until next time, this is Red Silvers. Have yourself a good night.